Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Corpus Christi. My name is Ren Aldrich. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm thrilled to be your worship associate this morning. Whether this is your first time here or you've been coming for years, or even if you're with us online, we unconditionally welcome you as your full, authentic self. We gather here today with intention to remember our values of interdependence, equity, transformation, pluralism, generosity, and justice, with love at the center. We often fall short of these ideals, but we continue to grow as spiritual and moral beings. To that end, we recite a covenant each week, which is not a creed, but a promise we make to one another. Announcements. Pumpkin Patch is coming up. I have a flyer out on the bulletin board in the hallway with a QR code so that you can fill out a form and give us your contact information. We will be needing people to help unload the truck when it gets here. We don't have an exact date yet, but that will be forthcoming. And we also need people to work shifts selling pumpkins, which is very, very easy to do, and I'm happy to train anybody who would like to. If you would like more information about that, you can contact me or Nick Gilby. There will be a board meeting this Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Everyone is invited to join, please.
This is the last week of the art that is in the hallway, which is for sale, well, for donation. If you would like to make a donation of $10 to the church, you may take that piece of fabulous photography home with you. Thank you so much.
All right. It is our custom in this church to offer visitors and newcomers a chance to introduce themselves if they feel comfortable doing so. If it's your first time here or you just feel ready to say hello after coming for a while, we invite you to stand as you're able or raise your hand, and Tess will bring the microphone to you so you can tell us your name and where you're from. Are there any visitors or newcomers who would like to introduce themselves?
Going once. Going twice. Too bad it's not sold.
I see a lot of familiar faces. Well, everyone is welcome, as always, to stay after the service for coffee and conversation. We're glad you're here. Our service will now begin. Our opening words this morning are from David Breeden. We unite in our differences in background and belief. We unite with gratitude and hope. Hope for a world of differences. Hope for a world that honors difference. We unite in community with gratitude for difference. I would like to invite Tess up to light the chalice while I share these words from Atticus Palmer. We call this light before us in hope that we may always remain a strong community, working together to make the world a better place. When we are grieving or sad, when we are challenged, when we need help, this flame guides us out of the darkness. When we are cheerful, when we celebrate, when we accomplish a great task, when we return to a place that makes us happy, the chalice reminds us to share our happiness with others. Please rise in body or spirit for the affirmation of our church government. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve human need to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with each other and with all we hold sacred. You may be seated. Now I invite Tess Cherry up once again to introduce the story. Never mind.
Sweetness, and I like to dance. Running the ball is like making more mans. We had the goal since training camp to give Chicago a Super Bowl champ. And we're not doing this because we're greedy. The Bears are doing it to feed the needy. We didn't come here to look for trouble. We just come here to do the Super Bowl shop.
This is Speedy Willie, and I'm world class. I like running, but I love to get the pass. I practice all day and dance all night. I gotta get ready for the Sunday fight. Now I'm as smooth as a chocolate swirl. I dance a little funky, so watch me, girl. There's no one here that does it like me. My Super Bowl shuffle will set you free.
I'm Samurai Mike, I stop 'em cold. Part of the defense, big and bold. I've been jamming for quite a while, doing what's right and setting the style. Give me a chance, I'll rock you good. Nobody messing in my neighborhood. I didn't come here looking for trouble. I just came to do the Super Bowl shuffle. We are the Bears, shuffling crew, shuffling on down, doing it for you. We're so bad, we know we're good, blowing your mind like we knew we would. You know we're just strutting for fun, strutting our stuff for everyone. We're not here to start no trouble. We're just here to do the Super Bowl shuffle.
I'm the punky QB known as McMahon. When I hit the turf, I've got no plan. I just throw my body all over the field. I can't dance, but I can throw the pill. I motivate the cats I like to tease. I play so cool, I aim to please. That's why you all got here on the double to catch me doing the Super Bowl shuffle.
I'm mama's boy Otis, one of a kind. The ladies all love me for my body and my mind. I'm slick on the floor as I can be, but ain't no sucker gonna get past me. Some guys are jealous of my style and class. That's why some end up on that. I didn't come here looking for trouble. I'm just getting down to the Super Bowl shuffle.
like to invite Tess Cherry up for the story for all ages.
I don't know. That's a hard act to follow. Our story is by video this morning, and it is called Max and Marlowe.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, sit down while I tell you the story of Max and Marla by Alexandre Bourget. Max and Marla are best friends. They are Olympians. Real life, honest to goodness, cross your heart, Winter Olympics Olympians. Wait, you don't believe me? Just watch. Preparation is key, and these two are very good at preparing.
Ready, Marla?
Asks Max.
Here we come.
I told you, they are true Olympians. Ready, set, go!
We are not going anywhere, Marla.
Oh boy, our Olympians face technical difficulties.
We must tend to this immediately.
True Olympians never give up. Marla and Max get to it right away. Taking care of your equipment takes time, and it is very important, as is teamwork.
Marla, could you hand me the wax, please? Marla!
Tomorrow will be a new day. Today, the team has added a number of improvements to their routine. The equipment double check.
Okay. Okay.
Marla gives a thumbs up.
Here we come again.
Just look at them. They are fearless, prepared for the unexpected. True Olympians never give up,
Marla, we must take a sick day.
says Max.
Taking care of yourself is important. Probably most important of all.
The two athletes are fully recovered,
Look, Marla,
says Max.
this time we are going to prepare for absolutely everything.
Any win today? No. Perfect weather conditions. Preparation really is the key. Obstacles are turned into victories. Max and Marla are true Olympians. The end. Thank you all so much for following along. I feel like
So I know there are no young here, but the young at heart, anybody would like to join me in RE? Okay, all right. Awesome. No going now in peace. No go now in peace. Nope.
Okay. After our meditation reading and time of silence, when the music begins, all who would like to are invited to come up the middle aisle to the chalice table and light a candle representing a joy or sorrow you may be holding in your heart today. If you are with us online, you're welcome to share your joys and sorrows by using the chat feature. There is immense power when a group of people with similar interests gets together to work toward the same goals. Idowu Koyenikan. As we enjoy our time of silence, if you'd like to, I invite you to think about a time you worked as part of a group to accomplish a common goal. Remember how it felt to achieve something together. Our time of silence will now begin. Our speaker today is Rob Allen, Director of Musical Programming here at U2C3. His topic is Community Through Rivalry, a celebration of sporting. He is also a lifelong Denver Broncos and Colorado Avalanche fan, captivated by players like John Elway and Joe Sakic. At a young age, he developed a love for sports while in the high school marching band. Now, a decade of competitive fantasy sports under his belt, Rob has experienced the highest highs and soul-crushing defeats on his journey towards league immortality. Please welcome Rob Allen.
Well, hello, everybody. Well, thank y'all for braving the rains today. I think there's a line somewhere in here about it being a beautiful day for Sunday kickoff, but maybe I'll change that.
It's okay, we don't have an NFL team.
So again, I am Rob Allen, typically your Director of Musical Program, monthly your Dungeon Master, and today your League Commissioner. This year I have delivered 2 messages about topics focused largely around nerd culture, being Star Wars and Dungeons and Dragons. But today I present possibly my nerdiest subject so far, sports. Today also happens to be kickoff Sunday for the NFL, practically a religious holiday here in Texas. While many fans are drawn to the big hits, long runs, championship rings, the fans I know are more concerned about, the little numbers, like quarterback ratings, reception numbers, and sack totals. In my mind, these are the numbers that truly make the big plays significant. Do we have it up? I forgot the clicker. Oh, we're all good. If I do that, yeah. There we go. You got me, Nick. Thank you. As usual, I want to preface my message this morning by going way further back than probably necessary. Sports developed across many ancient civilizations as a practical means of teaching survival and leadership skills to their young men and boys. While this could serve as entertainment purposes during times of peace, can you turn me down just a little bit, brother? Thank you. While this could serve as entertainment purposes during peace times, sports were also crucial as part of training regiments during times of war. Contests such as archery, javelin, wrestling, and swimming have been dated back to over 15,000 years, making them some of the longest enduring human traditions. Around 5,000 years ago, we started seeing the first team games developed. In China, this picture in the middle, they developed a proto-soccer game called Cuju, but more famously and relevant to us, oh, thank you, Ren. I guess that also works. Can you all still hear me okay? Okay, cool. Where was I? After that, more relevant to us here in Texas is a Mesoamerican ball game called, I'm going to butcher this, Olamalitzli, which you've probably seen pictures of it from your history books and stuff in school. So modernly known as Ulama, the point of this game is to keep the ball in play without it touching the ground and without using your hands or feet. And points were scored by bouncing the ball through the hoop, as pictured on my right. While civilians of all ages played this, all ages and genders played this game in their leisure time, this game was also ritualistically used to settle disputes among families, villages, or warring cities. In certain circumstances, the losing team was also sacrificed to the gods as appeasement for their failures. Viewed as the pinnacle of sporting, the Olympic Games was first recorded in 776 BCE, held every 4 years, as it is today, in honor of Zeus. Events like the discus and foot racing were formalized, with champions receiving both glory and monetary prizes. Later evolving into gladiatorial combat in the Roman Empire, sporting would gain more appeal and spectacle for the common masses. Massive stadiums were built to seat thousands of spectators, while famous gladiators became some of history's first professional athletes. Many years later, during the Industrial Revolution, many modern games were that we know today started becoming formalized with rules and leagues. Games like cricket, tennis, and soccer became popular in England during the early 19th century, and publicized rule books started becoming available in the 1860s. That was really nice for the upper class who could, afford the rule book, or the ball. Around this time, there also began a trend known as mob football. With few rules and maximum chaos and violence, these games would clog city streets, cause thousands of dollars in property damage, and lead to the assault of many innocent bystanders. A game truly for the people, by the people, which obviously means some Ivy League rich kids had to come along and ruin it. On November 6th of 1869, next slide, please. Rutgers and Princeton would play what was considered to be the first American football game, with no passing or tackling or downing the ball or time stoppages. This looked a lot more like soccer, but kind of with hitting the ball with your hands. We still had the uprights that we know today, but scoring was done individually instead of 6 points for scoring as we know today. So in this inaugural game, Rutgers would beat Princeton 6-4. And a little over a decade later, a man named Walter Camp, a Yale player and coach, would further develop the rules of football, including the line of scrimmage, where players line up at the beginning of plays, the snap, when the quarterback receives the ball to start the play, and the down system, where the offense is, at that time, was given 3 chances to move the ball 5 yards, which later would evolve into four tries for 10 yards. In addition, some of his additions also included the neutral zone, which cut down on collision injuries and established a pre-planned formation for different styles of play. One central figure to the professionalization of sports here in the United States was a man named Jim Thorpe. Born in 1887 in what is known as Oklahoma now, would grow up competing in track and field events and playing football throughout his early young life, and collegiately would go on to play for Pop Warner, who I didn't know that was actually a real person. I just thought the little kids had that league for whatever reason. So Pop Warner, real man. They played at Carlisle Indian Industrial School, and he was known for his abilities to break tackles, known for his speed and scoring abilities. He would popularize the sport throughout the Midwest and the South. Also a gold medal winner in the 1912 Olympics in both pentathlon and decathlon. I guess that makes sense. One is just twice as much as the other one, right? Thorpe would help found what would become known as the National Football League, or the NFL, in 1922, and serve as its first president. Playing in the league until his 40s, it's almost hard to believe that I also skipped over his entire professional baseball career, which he played for several teams in the early teens. Truly one of the greatest athletes of all time. The fledgling league would struggle during the Great Depression and World War II, but would start regaining popularities in the 50s with the commercialization and commodification of sports, bringing ample advertising opportunities to the league and its teams. This turned it into a very lucrative business. But this also would lead to rival leagues forming, most notably the American Football League, or AFL, in 1960. The next decade would be bitterly fought between the NFL and the AFL to establish supremacy, but eventually would culminate in the first championship between the two leagues, then dubbed the Super Bowl at the end of the 1966 season. Well, again, that's a little history about the league. Now I'd like to talk a little bit about my personal experience with sports. My personal journey into sports fandom began in the late 90s, while John Elway won back-to-back Super Bowls for the Denver Broncos in 1997 and 8. Along with guys like Terrell Davis, Ed McCaffrey, John Lynch, and Steve Atwater. Elway brought 2 championships to Denver, who had lost 4 previous attempts. As a kid, that was pretty cool. I was, about 4 or 5 when John Elway won those games, and that was nice. While I didn't exactly understand what that meant, it was really cool to have the championship close to home. For the 2001 and 2002 football season, my mother would buy season tickets for our local college team, the Wyoming Cowboys in Laramie, Wyoming. Now in September, this was kind of fun. Wyoming at the beginning of fall is just gorgeous outside. But a few weeks later, most of the games we went to were being played, in the 20s or 30s. The Cowboys would end up going an abysmal 2-9, 2 wins, 9 losses for the season, leaving us cold and disappointed as snow piled up on the cold metal bleachers around us. Surely this was a waste of time. Surely no one will ever rise from this wretched program. Now, the next decade of Broncos football was a real mixed bag. We had Jake Plummer and Jay Cutler in there for a while. Both would do okay, but never great. My interest waned. I became interested in music and martial arts at that time. But my relationship with the game really changed when I started high school band and joined the marching band. Through 4 years of high school, I attended almost every football game and had a blast. In the beginning, I didn't really have a stake in the game as a transplant. I had just started over at Flower Bluff High School. But by my senior year, I was rooting for my friends. Oddly enough, there were a fair amount of football players that were in my choir class. And we became really close over those years. It was a lot of fun to support them in what they did. It was a lot different watching the game when there were people that I cared about actually playing. We celebrated wins together, felt the crush of defeats together. As our last season grew together, that was kind of it. But we hang on to those kinds of memories, y'all. Speaking of memories, the moment that would forever seal my soul to eternal sports fandom was on January 8th, 2012. After clawing themselves to a riveting 8-8 season and a divisional championship, my Denver Broncos would find themselves at home facing the Pittsburgh Steelers, aiming to avenge a loss in the previous Super Bowl. Staring down the likes of legends like head coach Mike Tomlin, quarterback Ben Roethlisberger, receiver Santonio Holmes, and possibly the greatest safety of all time, Troy Polamalu, was Tim Tebow, who had played okay, but, well, let's just say going into the game, my dad and I were not very hopeful. I have a very vivid memory of this game. I remember watching this with my dad, who at the time was laid up in bed after a hip replacement surgery. Again, before the game, it was kind of a funeral in the room, but it is what it is. You know, another season. Next year, we'll have another chance. But what we didn't see coming was the Broncos kept the game really, really close. They would end up taking the Steelers to overtime, and 11 seconds into that overtime, this would happen.
And here we go. First snap of the overtime. The Broncos have been in 3 overtime games this year. They won them all. Got him at the 40. It's Thomas at the 50. Stiff arm got him free to the 30, to the 20. Thomas to the 10. Denver's going on to New England. They win it on the first play of overtime.
So, Demaryius Thomas would win the game with a walk-off touchdown and walk off into history. An improbable win versus a seemingly insurmountable foe. You would think that our intrepid quarterback would, make it to the promised land after that. But no, he was cut after this season and replaced with Peyton Manning. To this day, Tim Tebow is the only quarterback drafted by my Denver Broncos to win a playoff game. Because remember, neither Manning or John Elway were drafted by them. And sure, maybe that next week they would lose to Tom Brady. The Patriots would go on to the Super Bowl, but all was right in the universe because they would lose to the Giants. Not only did that seem like some sort of karmic justice, but also that would tie the Patriots for the most Super Bowl losses with the Denver Broncos at 4 each. Make that 4 to 5. Never mind, because just a few years later, the Denver Broncos would make it to the Super Bowl again, with Peyton Manning at the helm, and would put up the worst performance in Super Bowl history. This game still hurts my feelings. Oh, even with having historically the best scoring offense in NFL history, this defeat would again put Denver past New England in losses. With Tom Brady in the AFC, I just remember years of pure pain, just getting shut down. Every year. But around this time, I was also introduced to fantasy football. And while my Broncos were disappointing on the field, I could be disappointing online. I knew a little bit about the game. You make picks of individual players. They get scored individually, and then your total is matched against somebody else's total for the week. That's just kind of how it goes. My first season was absolutely terrible. I drafted a bunch of Broncos players because they were pretty good at the time, but I didn't realize a bunch of Broncos players does not actually a fantasy football team make. I finished last. But it is what it is, because that same season, the same season we started, the Broncos would actually go back to the Super Bowl and would win it this time. Yay! Over the years, I would get better at strategizing, making picks, what be it. But what I found was the most important connection to the game through this fantasy football was my connection to my friends. We knew each other when we started the league. You know, some of us were kind of close, but 10 years later, we have really become close, and it has become one of the only ways that we are able to keep in contact with each other. Out of 12 people, there are only 3 of us here in Corpus Christi now. Now, one more moment that I would like to talk about in recent NFL history would be the heartbreak, the consistent heartbreak of Saints fans during the latter half of the 2010s. With Drew Brees helming a multiple divisional championship team, I can remember the hype leading up to their appearance in the 2019 NFC Championship. Just 1 year removed from the Minneapolis Miracle, which had ended a prior playoff run, all eyes were on this game, and for good reasons, because up until the last few minutes, this game was absolutely electric. With the game tied and a trip to the Super Bowl on the line, Brees would drop back for a pass, and unfortunately, the rest is history. Can you play the second clip?
Quick snap. Breeze. Pass is incomplete. No flag for Tommy Lee Lewis. Nikel Roby-Coleman delivered a hit. And the two officials talk to each other. Crowd's going crazy as there's no flag right on the Saints sideline.
Well, if Nikel Roby-Coleman plays the ball, it's an interception. It's probably going the other way with it. I mean, the ball's on the other side of Roby-Coleman, but that should have been a penalty.
Should have been a penalty. This game is imperfect. The players don't always play by the rules. Referees don't always make the best calls. Not everyone gets the fairy tale ending where they walk off into history like John Elway and Peyton Manning did. The Rams would win this game, much to the distraught of all of the Saints fans I was watching this game live with. As soon as this play happened, the house, it seemed like it was on fire. Everybody was freaking out. But the Rams would end up losing the next Super Bowl to, again, Tom Brady, because his torment will never end. And now he owns the Raiders, who are in my division, and I hate it. Just getting that close just to fall short was miserable for them. But remember, not all teams are fortunate enough to even get that far. Some teams go 25 years, without even winning a playoff game. Actually, I take that back. That's only the Miami Dolphins. Sorry, Nick. Also, sorry, Nick, because, mentioning all these miserable moments, there is always a glimmer of hope. I mentioned earlier how miserable that 2-9 Wyoming Cowboys teams was. Nobody will rise from this wretched program. Well, one person did. Kind of our hometown hero in Laramie, Wyoming, Josh Allen, current quarterback for the Buffalo Bills. But through all the years, win or lose, the most important thing that I have gotten out of my fandom of football, sports in general, and out of my fantasy football league is the deep sense of community that I have developed. Yes, we talk about football, duh, but this is how the 12 of us have, again, chosen to keep in contact with each other. For our first season, all 8 of us, lived here in Corpus Christi. But again, now there's only 3 of 12 members that live here. Some of us live internationally. There are 3 members of our league that live in Germany. They're stationed there with the Air Force. We have several that are in West Texas. My friend Josh is a cotton farmer out in Lubbock. So, the world has scattered us to the breeze, but, again, this is how we choose to spend our time together. But beyond those connections, I also find it really easy to meet new people and talk about football. Whether at work with my regulars, my restaurant regulars, at my favorite dive, Tapology, where I like to watch football on Sunday. Thank you, Kathy. Or even while playing Dungeons and Dragons, Nick and I talk football during our sessions, before our sessions, after our sessions. It doesn't really matter what we're talking about, the news, the rumors, scores, scandals. They have all given me countless hours of good conversations. Despite all of the rivalries that are inherent with these games, it is always fun to see how football can bring people together. I think a big part of that is shared experience. I mentioned earlier that game that I watched with my father while he was in bed after the surgery. That, again, that memory is so vivid to me because I got to share that with somebody that I love. Now, before I wrap up, I'll grab the mic from you here in a moment. I would like to hear some of your experiences just briefly. We have just a couple minutes before I'll play y'all out. Would anybody like to share? Thank you, Scott.
Well, I just wanted to share a Jim Thorpe fact that you left out.
Oh.
I believe he holds the record for field goals at 75 yards. Believe it or not.
Wow. Again, seriously, one of the greatest athletes of all time.
Okay, this one is for my dad. All right. First sentence. Touchdown, Dallas!
Love that.
Kind of a connection to the way sports can really bring together old friends and keep that community. My father wasn't the most social person that I knew, but I very vividly remember always going over with the grill out to his friend's house. You know, the adults would gather, and everyone there was auntie and uncle. And, you know, I didn't always know what was going on the screen, but I knew when we cheered and when we, you know, groaned together.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I definitely connect with that.
Thank you.
Another fun fact about Thorpe was
he's Saxon Fox Nation, and you can actually go to where he grew up, and he used to run around the water tower in there. But yeah, he's
That's cool. Because it's a little small town,
it's
correct?
really rinky-dink.
Okay.
I miss it, but yeah, he's quite known in Oklahoma.
Native American.
Yes. Yeah, I've got time for Vaughn and Lee to go, and then I'll be wrapping up.
One of my favorite Super Bowl memories, I'm no fan of the New York Jets, but I was in I guess it's the third Super Bowl when Joe Namath pulled off that upset against Baltimore. I thought that was being from Houston and a Houston Oiler fan back then. I was for the AFL. It was good to see that happen.
The famous promise.
The greatest football team ever. Here in Corpus Christi, more or less where Louisiana Street is and several of the parallel streets, there was an army camp during World War I. They formed a football team, and that team played the major Texas colleges and the Ivy League schools. And for a total of about 15 games, the total score for the Army team versus all the college teams was 300-6.
That is something. All right. Again, thank you so much, everybody, for sharing. I hope there are many more stories we can share with each other. I think that that's really at the heart of what I've been trying to convey with these last few sermons. With things like Star Wars, Dungeons and Dragons, now with football, all three of these things would be far less enjoyable without sharing it with others. Whatever you are interested in, I hope that you are using your passion for that to spread joy, in this world and foster that same interest in others. Oh, here's that line. It's a beautiful day for a kickoff to the football season, so go out there, make some new friends, tell your best stories, and share what you love. Thank you, and blessed be.
Thanks, Rob. You're welcome. Now is the time we participate in the financial care of our church community by giving and receiving the offering. If you're contributing to your pledge today, please be sure to write pledge on your check or cash envelope. When the music begins, the ushers will present the offering basket to you, no passing required. Alternatively, you can use the QR code on screen to give electronically. Your offering, no matter how you make it, will be gratefully received. Please remain seated after the music is over for the closing of our service.
I fell on the playing field, the work of an errant heel. The din of the crowd and the loud commotion were deafening silent and stopped emotion. The season was almost done. We managed it 12-1. So far I had known no humiliation in front of my friends or close relations. There's my father looking on. There's my girlfriend, arm in arm. With the captain of the other team. And all of this is clear to me. They condescend and fix a frown on me. And how they love the sporting life. father had such hopes, a son who would take the ropes and fulfill all his old athletic aspirations. But apparently now there's some complications. But while I am laying here trying to fight the tears, I'll prove to the crowd that I'll come out stronger, though I think I might lie here a little longer. There's my coach, he's looking down. The disappointment in his knitted brow. I should have come, I never should have put him in. He turns and loads the lemonade away. And breathes deep. Sporting life. The sporting life. How he loves. Sorry, I lost it, y'all. Sorry, all that talking, I forgot all how rhythm worked.
As we move forward with our week, remember these words from football coach Vince Lombardi. After all the cheers have died down and the stadium is empty, after the headlines have been written, and after you are back in the quiet of your room and the championship ring has been placed on the dresser, and after all the pomp and fanfare have faded, the enduring thing that is left is the dedication to doing with our lives the very best we can to make the world a better place in which to live. Until next time, friends, be well and love one another.
There's my father looking on. There's my girlfriend arm in arm with the captain of the other team, and all of this is clear to me. They condescend and fix on me a frown, and how they love the sporting life, the sporting life, the sporting life, how they love.
Miami has the Dolphins, the greatest football team. We take the ball from goal to goal like no one's ever seen. We're in the air, we're on the ground, we're always in control. And when you say Miami, you're talking Super Bowl, 'cause we're the Miami Dolphins.